Hello and welcome to HW News English. I am Shubham Chauhan. Maharashtra continues to mourn the loss of its Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar. Ajit Pawar, the chief of the Nationalist Congress Party, died in a devastating plane crash a few hours back in Baramati. You've seen the visuals play out ever since news broke out early this morning, and developments are coming in thick and fast. So are the tributes from politicians across party lines. In this live session, what I will try and do is take you through the developments that are coming in on various fronts. On the front of the family that is trying to cope with this loss, this massive loss, and of course, questions that are being raised on the private jet operator, that is VSR Aviation. So over the course of the next few minutes, I will try and take you through all of this. First, let's start with the visuals coming in from Baramati. Ever since news broke out that Ajit Pawar, the plane that he was traveling in met with an accident and subsequently he died. You had supporters gathering in huge numbers trying to ascertain what happened, trying to get one last glimpse of their favorite political leader, Ajit Dada, as they called him, in Baramati and in Maharashtra. But just a short while back, you had the entire Pawar family who reached Baramati following this news that came in. First, it was Sharad Pawar, the uncle of late Ajit Pawar, who reached Baramati, and then it was followed by Supriya Sule, the sister of Ajit Pawar, and Sunetra Pawar was with her, who's the wife of Ajit Pawar. And really heartbreaking visuals coming in from Baramati. You can see an emotional Supriya Sule trying to fight back her tears, hugging the relatives that are there, just trying to make sense and trying to come to terms with what has happened. And so is Sunetra Pawar, who's there in the frame. She's lost her husband. She's devastated. You can also see the sons of Ajit Pawar, two sons, Parth and Jay, who really are struggling to come to terms with this loss. Sharad Pawar reached Baramati a short while back. He was in Mumbai, and once news came in of this air crash, he quickly rushed to Baramati with his family. He has also reached Baramati. He's visited the hospital where, like I said, thousands of supporters of Ajit Pawar have gathered ever since news came in of this really unfortunate crash that took place in Baramati. Now, what really happened, if you are still trying to figure out what really happened, Ajit Pawar was on his way from Mumbai to Baramati to address rallies in Baramati in lieu of the upcoming Panchayat Samiti and the Zilla Parishad elections. He was scheduled to address 4 rallies. He took a charter plane from Mumbai, and at around 8:46 a.m. is when this unfortunate crash took place. And a CCTV footage of this plane crash has come to light, where you can see a plane just losing its direction, crashing and exploding like a fireball within seconds. And that is where really things came to an end for Ajit Pawar. Mind you, it was not just Ajit Pawar. All 5 on board have lost their lives, and these include pilot in command Sumit Kapoor, co-pilot Shambhavi Pathak, security personnel of Ajit Pawar Vidip Jadhav, and the crew member Pinky Mali. All 4 and 5th Ajit Pawar, all on board, were killed in this really unfortunate plane crash that took place in Baramati. The CCTV footage, like I said, shows the final moments before this plane crashed just about 100 feet away from the Baramati airport in Pune district. Like I said, it's a small airport. Ajit Pawar was scheduled to go and address rallies early morning, but it really ended in complete tragedy, something that no one saw coming, not his family, and even not his supporters. We'll keep playing the visuals of the plane crash, the visuals from the site. You had the moment the plane went up in flames, you had several locals who rushed to the spot, just trying to take out all of those who were in the plane. In fact, what we are given to understand that by the time the locals could reach, and the fire was so severe that there was no way to identify the charred remains of all of those who were on board. As for Ajit Pawar, reports say that his body was identified using his wristwatch. That is how Ajit Pawar was identified among those who were on board that private plane, and coincidentally, the clock is the symbol of the NCP that Ajit Pawar was heading, and that is how his body was also identified using that wristwatch. Following which he was rushed to the nearest medical facility in Baramati. Since morning, tributes have started coming in of various political leaders. You've had Uddhav Thackeray, Shiv Sena UBT chief. He of course expressed his condolences to the Pawar family. In fact, if we'll just play out his tweet and what Uddhav Thackeray has said, he said that when I was the chief minister, Ajit Pawar was the deputy CM and finance minister. He was an extremely disciplined leader with a firm grip on his department and a deep understanding of the finance department. I have lost a steadfast leader and an excellent colleague from my cabinet. In Maharashtra, he was popular as Dada. I never thought he would leave so soon. He was known as a leader who cherished his workers. His departure has created a void in the state's leadership. On behalf of myself, Thackeray, and the Shiv Sena family, my heartfelt tribute to Ajit Dada. That is what Uddhav Thackeray has said. You've had Raj Thackeray as well, Maharashtra Mourns Dada chief. He also paid his tribute to late Ajit Pawar, saying that my friend and deputy CM has passed away. Maharashtra has lost an outstanding leader. Ajit Pawar and I entered politics around the same time, though our acquaintance came much later. But on the strength of his sheer passion for politics, Ajit Pawar took great strides in Maharashtra's political arena, and he's written a long post on social media platform X, recollecting his association with Ajit Pawar, his interactions. And towards the end, in fact, Raj Thackeray has said that opposition politics is political, not personal. That's why leaders in Maharashtra who keep in mind that poisonous criticism of each other should not be taken personally are becoming fewer. The successive departure of generous opponents from politics is a great loss to Maharashtra's fine political tradition. My family and I share in the grief of the Pawar family. On behalf of the MNS, heartfelt tribute to Ajit Pawar. That is what Raj Thackeray, chief of the Maharashtra Mourns Dada, has had to say, starting from the Prime Minister, ever since it was confirmed by the Directorate General of Civil Aviation that Ajit Pawar is no more, and he, along with 4 others who were on the aircraft, all of them have died in the crash. You've had tributes coming in from the Prime Minister, the Home Minister of the country, Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, the Defense Minister, and leaders, politicians cutting across party lines, not just in Maharashtra, throughout the country, starting from Omar Abdullah, the JNK chief minister, all the way down to Kerala. You've had politicians recollecting their little interaction, whatever it may have been, of Ajit Pawar. But all of them had to say the same thing, that he was someone who was really passionate about Maharashtra and his vision for Maharashtra. And in fact, if we'll stay with those visuals coming in from Baramati, that are still playing all over social media, your television screens, you can see a swarm of supporters of Ajit Pawar. Remember, Baramati is the home turf of the Pawar family. Ajit Pawar has been representing the Baramati constituency since 1995. And Baramati as a whole, it started with Sharad Pawar, then went into the hands of Ajit Pawar. It's really his home turf, his own bastion. Something that has seen so many political battles play out in recent weeks and years. But when you always spoke of Baramati, when anybody spoke of Baramati, Pawar was almost synonymous with that small town on the outskirts of Pune. In fact, what I'm also reading right now is that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has dialed Sharad Pawar, NCP SP chief. He's offered his condolences over the loss. Ajit Pawar, of course, the nephew of Sharad Pawar, someone who in his early political career was under his uncle's mentorship and guidance. And come 2023, it was when Ajit Pawar decided to step out of his uncle's shadows and chart his own political journey. So that's when he split the NCP, took away a bunch of MLAs, a lot of the cadre with him. And since 2023, you've had a situation where 2 NCPs have been functioning, have been in the political scenario of Maharashtra. As for the funeral of Ajit Pawar, what we are given to understand that funeral will take place tomorrow in Baramati itself, near the residence of Ajit Pawar. What reports are suggesting that there's a a farm. There's a land next to Ajit Pawar's residence, and that is where the land is being leveled, and that is where the last rites of Ajit Pawar will be performed with full state honors. Remember, he was the deputy chief minister, the longest serving deputy chief minister that Maharashtra has seen. He's also among the in terms of the finance ministry, someone who's tabled the maximum number of budgets as far as Maharashtra is concerned. A veteran leader, someone who had a grip over the administration in his own way. He was someone who's known to not mince his words. He was very forthright, very straightforward, very candid in how he approached his work, his party workers, and those he worked with. And this is something that has also landed him in a lot of trouble. But whenever one spoke about Ajit Pawar, and whenever one is speaking about Ajit Pawar right now, everybody is recollecting fondly those memories of Dada. So be it Ajit Pawar taking a jibe at his political rivals, or even his own party workers, where there have been so many clips that have gone viral of Ajit Pawar cracking a joke here and there, lightening the mood, putting his arms around the shoulders of his party workers from whichever part of Maharashtra they have come from. So those are the things that you really sort of associate with Ajit Pawar. But for now, those visuals that we will play of the family, Supriya Sule, Sunetra Pawar, both of them MPs. Supriya Sule is the Lok Sabha MP from Baramati. Sunetra Pawar is the wife of Ajit Pawar, and she's the Rajya Sabha MP. Both of them were in Delhi today. The parliament session, they were there for the parliament session that is already begun this morning. And once news came in, both of them, along with Ajit Pawar's son Parth, rushed to Pune, and from Pune, they rushed to Baramati, where you can see those visuals, visibly distraught Supriya Sule. So is Sunetra Pawar. Remember, Sunetra Pawar and Supriya Sule fought against each other in the 2024 Lok Sabha election. That was a battle within the Pawar family in the bastion of the Pawars themselves. So, and eventually you had Supriya Sule that came out on top, and she won decisively against Sunetra Pawar. But one thing, even after the split, that has always been spoken of Ajit Pawar, of the Pawar family at large, that they've managed to keep politics and personal family equations separate. So while they may be political rivals with two NCPs now in two different zones, one, the NCP of Ajit Pawar, was with the BJP-led alliance. Then on the other hand, you had Sharad Pawar's NCP that was in the opposition camp. Yet you saw visuals repeatedly of the family reuniting on someone's wedding, on Sharad Pawar's birthday, on Rakhi, on Diwali. To celebrate these festivals, you had the family really come together. Most recently, on the political front as well, there was a reunion of the Pawars when the two came together for the municipal corporation elections that Pune and Pimpri Chinchwad saw, where eventually the result saw that the Pawar family was wiped out. The NCP and of the both NCPs of Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar were handed a decisive blow by the voters of those respective cities. But all that you're seeing play out since this morning in Baramati, on social media across Maharashtra, particularly in Baramati, is the outpouring of grief and emotion. 66-year-old veteran politician Ajit Pawar tragically died in a plane crash. Many of them are yet to come to terms with what really has happened, trying to make sense of what happened in those last few moments. In fact, a few hours back, you had the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, and his deputy, Eknath Shinde. Both of them spoke to the media, where they expressed their condolences, their grief over the loss of Ajit Pawar. They said he'll be dearly missed, and he was someone who was committed to the development of Maharashtra, and someone who's always known to be a grassroots leader. He had his connect on the ground, particularly in the rural belt and the Western Maharashtra belt, where he enjoyed great dominance. So you had the Chief Minister of Maharashtra speaking about it and saying that Ajit Pawar will dearly be missed. A young leader by the standards of Indian politics at 66 to tragically die in a plane crash is something that has left everybody in the state of Maharashtra shattered. Now, that was one bit. The other question that, of course, everybody has been raising is on what really happened. What was the sequence of events that led to this plane crash? And we have some picture, some sort of clarity being given by the Civil Aviation Ministry that is led by um, Ram Mohan Naidu. He has spoken to the media, given some brief clarity on what happened in those last few moments, and you've had aviation ministry officials as well who have put out a statement, and that has come through media reports where they have detailed what happened in those last few moments, particularly the CCTV footage that has captured the final moments before this private plane has gone down. In fact, a team of the AAIB, which is the Aircraft Accidents Investigation Bureau, a team of the AAIB is also on their way to the crash site, where they will be now examining, because this is a serious accident that has taken place. The AAIB that is also investigating the Air India 171 crash that happened in June 2025. They'll also be now probing this crash that is involved Ajit Pawar. Now, what we are given to understand at this point, and what aviation ministry officials are saying with regards to the sequence of events, first is that the plane that Ajit Pawar was in, it flew for around 35 minutes before crashing. So the rough timeline that is being given is that this plane that is identified as a Learjet 45, about 9-10-seater private aircraft, which is operated by VSR Aviation. It took off from Mumbai's Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport at around 8:10 a.m. And there's between Mumbai and Baramati, the distance is about 250 kilometers. So it was expected that the plane will cover that distance in about 35 to 45 minutes. Now, what we are given to understand is that the flight disappeared from the radar at about 8:45 a.m. And in fact, if we play those visuals of the CCTV footage, the timestamp that you can see on top of it, it's around 8:46 a.m. So that is something that is, it just happened within a few moments. And in fact, I'll just take you through what the aviation ministry officials have been saying, who've laid down a brief timeline, a brief sequence of events on what really happened. At 8:18, the plane, which is owned by VSR Ventures, established contact with the Baramati airport. The plane, like I said, had left Mumbai at 8:10 a.m. And the plane's next call was 30 nautical miles, or 55.6 kilometers from Baramati airport. At this time, the plane was handed over to the local ATC, which is the air traffic controller, by Pune, and Captain Shambhavi Pathak was advised of weather conditions and advised to land at her own discretion. Now, mind you, this landing was taking place at the Baramati airport. It's a very small airport, not some huge international airport that has top-class facilities. It's a small airport. And Pathak, this is what the government statement is saying, that Captain Shambhavi Pathak asked about winds and visibility, where she had to land, standard questions that pilots would pose to the ATC to understand what the weather conditions are. She was told that the visibility was around 3,000 meters or 3 kilometers. The aircraft then reported its final approach to runway number 11. And immediately afterwards, the pilot indicated that the landing strip was not in sight. So there were, the flag was raised on low visibility at the Baramati airport while this plane was trying to land. The pilot indicated that the landing strip was not in sight, and she was told to then initiate a go around. So the pilot did not land, and I'm trying to simplify this as much as possible for layman language. Of course, you will have experts and officials detail it in a much more elaborate fashion, but broadly, the plane couldn't land the first time, so it was told to have a go around. So it took back again, and it was circulating. It took one round after aborting their first landing, and after the go around, the plane was asked again about its position, and the pilot reported final approach. Confirmation that the runway was now visible was asked and given, and then the plane was then cleared to land. So this is what the aviation ministry, the government, is saying, that the plane was cleared to land at 8:34 a.m. But after that, there was no readback of landing and clearance. And by about 8:46, just within a few minutes, you saw the plane just sort of lose its way and crash about 100 foot away from the Baramati airport. And there was massive plume of smoke, something we've been showing those visuals since morning. The moment the plane crashed, there was an explosion. In fact, eyewitnesses who were among the first to reach the spot, they said there were at least 4 to 5 explosions that took place the moment this plane carrying Ajit Pawar crashed. In that CCTV footage, you can see at the back of that visual, I'm not sure if we'll show that visual to you, but towards the back side of that screen, you can see a plane just trying to make its way somehow, and there's of course the attempt is unsuccessful, and it crashes, and then you see a huge fire and a huge plume of smoke that emerges in that area from Baramati. And like I said, once this came to light, there were questions raised on the private jet operator, VSR Ventures themselves, a Delhi-based company. Officials from VSR have said that the plane was absolutely safe, and they had the aircraft in which Ajit Pawar was traveling had no major safety concerns. In fact, Vijay Kumar Singh, their senior official, he said that the jet was 100% safe, and it was being operated by fairly experienced crew who had flying an experience of more than a few thousand hours, and there was absolutely no problem. There was no technical failure. Now, Vijay Kumar Singh's sort of hint is that this could be due to a poor visibility issue where the pilot couldn't possibly gauge the distance between the ground and when the aircraft was sort of about to land, and that really triggered it. The plane crash landed, and then you saw the scenes that everybody saw. Of course, Vijay Kumar Singh also said that the final conclusion would come from the investigation that will be done by the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, the watchdog that you have for flights. So that is where things stand as far as VSR is concerned. In fact, once this news of Ajit Pawar's plane crashing came to light, there were reports that another Learjet 45, so a similar aircraft like the one that Ajit Pawar was traveling in, belonging to the same company, had also crashed in 2023. This was at the Mumbai airport, and this is what we are told, that another jet similar to the ill-fated one carrying Ajit Pawar crashed about 28 months ago as it attempted to land amid bad weather. And according to records available with the AAIB, the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, a 14-year-old Learjet 45 was flying from Vizag, from Visakhapatnam to Mumbai, and it crash landed while it was attempting to land in Mumbai amid heavy rains and reduced visibility. There were 6 people on board, and they all survived the accident. So this is what is one part of the story coming in. Of course, one can't link to accidents, especially when it comes to such horrific tragedies, but questions are being raised on what transpired in the final moments as far as Ajit Pawar's accident is concerned. We will, of course, here at HW News English, stay away from conjecture. We'll stay away from speculation and conspiracy theories. What we will try and bring you, and what our endeavor has been, to give you only information that is credible, verified information that has come in before jumping the gun, given the sensitivities that are involved in this matter. So I told you the government version, where they said that permission was given to the flight carrying Ajit Pawar to land, but there's something that transpired within the last few seconds, the last few minutes, where you saw the plane just go wayward and crash about 100 feet away from the runway where it was scheduled to, or where it was expected to land. But that is, again, investigation is underway. You had Muralidhar Mohor, MOS, Minister of State Civil Aviation, again, someone who comes from Pune. He's known Ajit Pawar closely. He and Ram Mohan Naidu, the Union Civil Aviation Minister, have spoken to the media, and they've said that a thorough inquiry will reveal the exact cause of this flight crash, and will also reveal on what exactly went wrong in those final moments. So an investigation, a detailed inquiry by the AAIB is something that will give answers to what has happened. And other than that, you still have what we're also told is that the Chief Minister of Maharashtra is making his way. He's cancelled all his scheduled programs. He along with Eknath Shinde will make their way to Baramati, where the final rites, the last rites of Ajit Pawar will be held. His supporters still in disbelief. A 66-year-old life snatched in such a devastating way. A plane crash no one saw coming. A leader that was loved by many, that many hated. To someone who of course had his own sort of allegations to face, including corruption, be it involving himself or his family members, primarily his son, in recent weeks. But one thing that many people are fondly recollecting, as far as Ajit Pawar is concerned, that the man was punctual. He was a no-nonsense man, someone you couldn't just go and meet over a cup of tea without any work. You can't just go and have chit-chat with him, sit and chit-chat with him wherever he was. You needed to have a work that you wanted Ajit Pawar's attention to be drawn to. And he was someone who was known to do the work, and someone who was very candid and fair in his assessment. In fact, some reports also say that many leaders and politicians have complained that whenever we went to Ajit Pawar, he never gave us false hopes. So either the work could be done or it couldn't be done, and something that Ajit Pawar was very forthright and upfront about. So in that sense, Maharashtra has really lost a veteran leader, a deputy chief minister, multiple time deputy chief minister, been in public life for about 3.5 decades. Started off from the cooperatives, the sugar cooperatives in Baramati in Western Maharashtra, became an MP briefly before vacating that Lok Sabha seat for his uncle, and then glued to state politics since about 1995. He charted, like I said, his own way, and at the age of 66, Ajit Pawar, the deputy chief minister of Maharashtra, has died today. So we'll keep you posted around whatever happens next. Like I said, the funeral is scheduled for tomorrow. A 3-day state mourning has also been declared by the chief minister of Maharashtra. The entire Pawar family is there. Supriya Sule, who's the sister of Ajit Pawar, she's reached there absolutely in disbelief with Sunetra Pawar, the wife of Ajit Pawar. You have had Ajit Pawar's sons, two of his sons, who are also in Baramati. Sharad Pawar has reached in Baramati along with his wife, and the entire family just trying to hold on, console each other, and just try to make sense of this huge loss that they've had to go through. Now, of course, a lot of questions still remain on the political front. What happens to the two NCPs? Do you see a merger? Do you see Ajit Pawar's faction come back to Sharad Pawar, all the leaders that had split in 2023, or do they still continue to exist as an independent party? We'll have to wait for, because Ajit Pawar's loss and the tragic manner in which this happened, it has thrown up a lot more questions on the political front. For Fadnavis, he's lost a trusted ally in the form of Ajit Pawar, and someone who was used to ensure that the other deputy chief minister, Eknath Shinde, is kept in check. And despite sections of the BJP, the leadership, their supporters, the Sangh Parivar, despite them, many of them being vocally against having Ajit Pawar on the BJP side, Devendra Fadnavis on his part ensured that in 2019, so that brief time when the government was formed, he was there. And now in 2023, when Ajit Pawar came into the government as DCM and as the finance minister of the state. So that has, for Devendra Fadnavis, he's lost a trustable and a bankable ally, if you can call that. And one will have to see how the political fallout is going to be, because whenever in such cases you see a tall leader, an influential politician pass away, be it through natural circumstances or in sudden tragic manner that Ajit Pawar has passed away, there's a vacuum that is left. And that vacuum, how will that be filled, is something that only time will tell. But for now, you still have those visuals coming in from Baramati. We will, of course, keep you posted with all the latest developments that are coming in from Baramati. The funeral is scheduled for tomorrow, is what we are told, and a state mourning, a 3-day state mourning where the flag will be flown at half-mast is. And government offices will not be working. The chief minister has cancelled all his program. What we are also given to understand is that the Home Minister of India, Amit Shah, could come to Baramati for the final rites of Ajit Pawar. So expect top politicians to come out at that last rite of Ajit Pawar in Baramati to pay their final respects to one of the most influential and consequential, daring and forthright politician that Maharashtra has seen in the last 3.5 decades. So we'll keep you posted with all those developments. That's all we have for this live session. Thanks for watching.